be fine.
No.
All right, now what I'm gonna do is called a clapboard, good old movie. You're gonna see me clap. Bob, are you ready? I'll do both, I'll do all cameras.
So I'm to look at Barbara or the
And all-
camera?
Me,
Yeah.
always at me, and if you start to look away, I'll go like that. And if you look up or you look down at the side, I'll go,
Okay,
you know,
good.
Look at me.
Got it.
Because I can't say, look at me, I gotta go.
And anytime.
Darden, I know a lot about you, but I need our audience to know about you. So how about starting out with what Rotary Club you're a member of, when you joined, and how long you've been in Rotary?
Okay, I'm a member of the Morehead City Rotary Club. I joined in 1969, I think it was, and here in Morehead. And my father has been a lifetime member of this club, so I was a legacy.
That's wonderful being a legacy member. I know your father probably shared stories with you about Rotary long before you were a member yourself. Do you remember any of those stories from the early days of Rotary in Morehead City?
Rotary was a very important part of my father's family type thing, and my earliest memory would be 1947, 46. On Sundays, he would make house calls down east for his patients. And I can remember riding with him, probably in the summertime, and he would and I would sing R-O-T-A-R-Y, that spells Rotary. R-O-T-A-R-Y is one great family. And that's the type of culture that Rotary has been in our family. My mother was a Rotarian, which is not quite appreciated these days, and from that standpoint. But it's the qualities of Rotary are well founded for any family development.
Excellent. What are the people in Rotary? Who stands out in your mind as a giant of Rotary in this area?
Well, that's they all are actually, and you know, it's we who are in Rotary now. If we think that we have any greater vision of Rotary down the road, it's because we stood on the shoulders of these giants. Rotary was, you didn't join Rotary. You couldn't ask to join Rotary. You were invited to join Rotary. And Rotarians took the four-way test, the object of Rotary, all of those precepts, and they believed in them. And actually, it was kind of like a catechism or something. We were indoctrinated in those things in the club. Every time a member came in that went through the object of Rotary and things like that. And these things are very important. So all Rotarians, they felt it. They really felt this spirit, and that their occupation or profession was an opportunity to serve others.
That's so heartfelt, and I so appreciate that from you. I am thinking back to some of the early projects that Rotary did that enhanced the community. Do you know any stories about the early projects that were important to the development of Morehead City?
Of course, the thing that we always took a great deal of pride in was helping to establish the port of Morehead City. Wilmington was a state port, and it's, I don't recall when it was, early 40s or maybe the late 40s or something, but at any rate, those businessmen made the contacts with the government and whatnot like that to help make that a fact and come about like that. The can't remember. There was something.
That's all right.
What
You
what
said-
was what was it that they developed? There was something Chamber of Commerce.
Started over with that thought.
The Rotary Club was instrumental in the Chamber of Commerce in developing that. There again, it's just their interest and the fact that they made the contacts that were necessary to bring this out and whatnot. They also provided a crippled children's clinic in the early 50s, and that was staffed by Dr. Lennox Baker from Duke University, and he came down here and would do diagnostics and things like that. Was part of the Rotary Club in the things that they did. They did a lot of things that were unknown, and while we make a great deal about branding today, that was not the attitude of the early Rotary Club. They did not want to brand. They did not want to take the credit for these things that they did to their aggrandizement. Got that word? And but at any rate, they always supported schools, scouts. Lake Waccamaw was a orphanage, and we had a Rotary cottage down there. And every spring we would go and take a truckload of stuff for the people there, the students or whatever they were like it, in that. And that was a great source of pride. And Christmas we had something to do with that organization. And later on, in my time, within the last decade, the Rotary Club went out to college, to Carteret Community College, and established their sponsorship for C-STEP, which is Carolina Student Transfer Excellence Program. And we donated a small amount of money. They needed $5,000 in order to get the program to come to Carteret County. And so three or four individuals and the Morehead City Rotary Club made that $5,000 available and brought that program in. And part of their shadowing, part of Rotary shadowing project, which was youth would come in and they would say, I'd like to be an attorney, and some attorney would say, well, come by here on Friday afternoon and follow me around, or we'll go over to the courthouse together, or things like that, or I'm making a house call, go see a patient, come with me, or teaching school, or this type of thing like that. So that was part of the programs that these individual Rotarians carried out without direction, without being told to do. It was that type of thing like that. We initiated with Broad Street Clinic a shadowing program for language and pharmacy and just care of the elderly and infirmed, which these students from C-STEP would have the opportunity, if they cared to go over and volunteer in that. And we maintain a very good relationship, the Rotary Club, with both Broad Street Clinic and with the college, Carteret Community College, even today.
Excellent. One thing I think I remember was a scholarship that was given to a senior at West Carteret High School. I looked at a list. I know Cecil Harvell was on that list when he was in high school.
Yeah, yeah.
So can you tell me a little bit?
Well,
about the
yeah,
scholarship?
the Rotary Club established a Rotary Scholarship, and it was always presented at graduation. It was not at honors day, it was at graduation, like an appointment to the Naval Academy or a Moorhead Scholarship or a 4-year scholarship to Duke. And that scholarship from the Rotary Club was always presented at that time to the most outstanding student as determined by the faculty of the school. And that started back in the 30s. And then it went on and continued on through my time, and really up until West Carteret. At West Carteret, we began to lose that association with the faculty and whatnot when we lost John Nelson. John Nelson was past president of our club, and we were able to keep that done and honored with the graduation. But we have since lost that distinction as it goes on. But it was the best all-around student. It's a Rotary.
Excellent. I love that story. What project that you heard about or you were involved in do you take the most pride in? What part of your Rotary experience in the service that you've done stands out in your mind as just a bellwether for you?
One of the projects that stands out in my mind involves our district governor, Bob Howard, who was very instrumental in the Boy Scouts movement here in the county. And we developed here, sitting out as a thumb in the ocean, we had a very good Boy Scout program. And one of the things that Bob Howard and Rotary led us to do was to organize and buy Camp Sam Hatcher. And that's a local Boy Scout camp that we had for many years. And it's still there. It's under the Conservancy, North Carolina Conservancy, but it's associated with Boy Scouts. And that reservation made it possible for us to have a strong scouting program. When I was growing up, Friday afternoon, we'd just get the troop together and go out in the woods and camp. You can't do that anywhere now. It's all property is private now, and that type of thing. But we had Camp Sam Hatcher, and that was very, very important. I think that's one of the projects that I think quite highly of.
Very dear to my heart. And now it belongs to Camp Albemarle.
Yes, and that's a good handshake, and it's still the conservative, the North Carolina, something conservative.
Part of it belongs to them, and the rest belongs to Camp Albemarle, and Camp Albemarle is allowing the Boy Scouts to continue using it a couple times a year.
Exactly.
Excellent. Who's the most influential Rotarian in your life?
Well, locally, I think there are a number of them, all of them in their own way, as we all hope to be some sort of positive influence on people around us and this type of thing. But we have to remember there was District Governor Stanley Woodland back in 1939, 40, something like that. He was district governor, and you know, we'd only been a club for 20 years or something, and that was and is a very esteemed position. I think, you know, that we have to think about that. And of course, we had two Mr. Rotarians. Bob Howard was district governor, and he came from our club and was instrumental in promoting Rotary throughout the community, and continued to do it all his life and whatnot like that. Yeah, and my father. So and all the other fathers of my friends and who were Rotarians and things like that. It was a very esteemed position to be a Rotarian back in the day. as it is now, but it's changed a little, and for the better, because you have to evolve to survive. And Rotary will be here for long after we're gone.
It's been so interesting listening to you, Darden. I probably could keep you for days hearing the stories. But if there is one thing you would like us to capture here that will be passed on, that perhaps a young man or a young woman will see this video and hear about Rotary, what one last word would you have for somebody who's going to see this video in the future?
He who serves others serves best.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Darden.
Good girl.
All righty, everybody just hang